Hello, this is Ceabstantine, coming in here with something a bit more unscripted, just kind of off the cuff. Persona 6 was teased recently, and I have a ton to say about it. I don't feel like rambling about it. No, I don't feel. Hey, this
Alright. You can splice it together, it's fine, it's okay.
No, I'll just start again. I want to start again. I want to get this right. Hey, this is Ceabstantine. This is not a normal video. This is just an unscripted rambling. Persona 6 was teased really recently, and I just really want to talk about it. I'm not alone talking about this. I'm here with my emotional support yapper, Phoenix in Orbit.
Hello.
Yeah, they're going to be linked in the description and probably in the end card as well. Go check out their content. Singular.
Just one.
Just one content. Persona 6 was announced recently. I got the teaser looped on mute on my second monitor, just watching it all over and over again, just like how it's been on loop in my brain for a while. I think I made a video about Persona 6 a while ago, and I want to, like, I was happy with my ideas there, but I have a lot of new ideas now, but I don't feel like making another Persona 6 video, so here we are. I'm just going to quickly go over my personal experience with the Persona series, and Phoenix can do the same real quickly. I've played through the Modern Trilogy. I've played through Persona 5 Royal, Persona 4 Golden, Persona 3 Reload, and classic Persona fan, I've watched the other two. At least I experienced them. At least I experienced Persona 1 and 2. I'm mainly looking at this, like, this is most likely going to be a modern game, so experience with a modern style Persona game. It's of course it's going to be modern. I have no direction. I have no direction. I have so much I want to talk about, but I'm coming at this from a direction that this is obviously going to be a modern game. Anything, Phoenix? What do you?
I mean, I have like a normal person's amount of experience with Persona. I've watched people play 4 and 5. I technically own Reload, and I've played the first like 5 minutes of it. I've played some of Persona 5.
Amazing.
But I do love 4 and 5, so I can say that much.
I mean, fair enough. That's like representative of at least 80% of the fan base. Yeah. I think we're mostly going to be talking about like the story and like the themes and things like that, because like obviously the teaser's not going to give us shit for gameplay.
Right.
But generally, I think like the one extremely obvious thing that we can talk about is how fucking dark it is. Like this is like genuine, like
True.
like it feels like something out of a more like psychological horror style of game. Which like obviously Persona's dabbled a lot into more like psychological themes and being very cerebral in his storytelling, but usually that level of psychological analysis comes with no subtlety whatsoever. So I'm wondering if if they're going to change it, like try and be a bit more like nuanced and interesting.
Here's to hoping.
Here's hoping. I think. I guess we might as well just go through the teaser, right, and like talk about anything we have in our mind. Because like right now, for me, I think I'm a huge fan of just how it opens and how it's like showing like the imagery of like hundreds of tombstones like really close together.
Yes.
This feels like something that would be like, it reminds me of like the opening to the TV world, or like somewhere like Mementos, where there's like that kind of like setting of this like other world. The first, at the beginning of the teaser, it says in-game footage and cinematics at the bottom. So that I guess this is in-game.
It does say that.
It does say that. It does in fact say that. And I am interested in what that means, because this happens. This is in game.
I didn't even catch that.
This happens in game. I like obviously
This is the gameplay.
This is gameplay. It's gameplay. I think I am like obviously I can say, ooh, it's going to be dark, but I want to talk about a few things about like kind of what I get from this trailer, and honestly, you're mostly just here for emotional support, but like, keep me on my fucking leash.
I have the occasional opinion.
True. But I think I want to talk about I want to talk about a million things, but I really want to talk about keep talking about this. I don't think the theme's like going to be death. Obviously, like they're not going to make another game where it's like let's talk about death for 200 hours.
Well,
but
that's certainly what I thought of.
True.
I mean, the millions of tombstones.
The millions
and
of
Atlas
tombstones.
made me go, oh, Persona 3.
I really want to point at like the one focal piece of imagery we get, because like the thing to remember, like the Persona 5 teaser really a long time ago, all we got in that was like some chairs with like some chains on them.
Yeah.
And that wasn't like, obviously that doesn't really, like, sure, he's like chained to a chair at one point in the story, but like that's literally it. That's the closest we could get to anything like that. It's more about the themes. It's more about it's more about the symbolism.
Yeah, I literally just pulled that up to compare.
It's basically the same. It's basically just symbolism, and the two main striking pieces of symbolism you get, right? One is, of course, the tombstones, and I'm going to talk about the tombstones in a second. But the other one we get is a large statue looming over them without a head, and in the light of the thunderstorm, we see the silhouette of, assuming the protagonist or important character, reaching out to said statue. There's also all the bullshit at the end, but I don't feel like going through frame by frame. It looks really cool, but I don't feel like going through it. I've gone through it before, and it's like, oh yeah, this could mean literally anything, so I'm not going to focus on it. But what gets me the most from that imagery of the headless statue is kind of like, it kind of reminded me of historical like crimes and like atrocities. That's what like came to me of like, because like you don't build statues of people who are still alive, you know, or like, you know what I mean, like it's like, right. But there's a statue like defaced, literally, and standing above hundreds of tombstones. And that really like got me thinking, like that's my current thought process of what kind of like this story might be about, of like looking at like, because it kind of has a haunted vibe to it, like a very like ghostly paranormal vibe, and like, are we going to fight the ghosts of evil's past? Like,
I mean, maybe it's just the fact that it's green, but my first thought was that this was some kind of like cult.
Interesting. I could kind of see that.
My brain immediately saw green and went to Cthulhu, but obviously it could be something else.
Could be. I do see a little bit of like this kind of like religious symbolism, but I do think that kind of could also like play into it. Like it's like the idea, like, but thinking about
the like who you are thing.
I'm reaching. Like this is being entirely real. I am reaching as far as I physically can.
I mean, that's all we can do right now.
Yeah, and like but like this idea is in my mind of like a story about like examining historical pasts, and that sort of thing, or examining like people who did shit in the past, or like looking at maybe like revisionism or something like that, or even just like curses in like a sense. There's a lot you could do with that, and I'm very interested to like. Here's the thing, right? Normally when I like speculate a like narrative game, at least like in my personal time, there's a certain like I have confidence in the Persona writers to do something good. Generally, like they don't miss on like the big things.
Yeah, the overall themes are usually pretty interesting.
There's like usually in each game there's like one or two weak points, but like ultimately like it's like the story is generally pretty strong.
Yeah.
My least favorite Persona story is still a really damn good story. And I guess I'll throw in it for hot take's sake. It's 4.
Gasp.
I don't know. I think this isn't a video about Persona 4. I don't know, but I do want to know about this, like, because like we're not going to be talking about Persona 4 Revival, even though it looks really fucking good. We will mention some things because I think it might set like a precedent, and we've seen more of it than we have Persona 6. In the Persona 4 Revival trailer, I might have to show that on screen right now. Put it on screen right now. There's multiple shots we get. There's multiple shots we get of like more unique cinematography, like over-the-shoulder shots, more distinct shots from different angles, especially in more like cutscene situations. And that really implies, and like, especially with going back to the Persona 6, this is in-game, I kind of buy that. Like, to be fair, this is, undoubtedly, this is a scene in, like, the other world, right?
Right.
So, like, I'm gonna pitch right now, most of this is off the cuff, so, like, forgive me, this is just a million thoughts a second, but I'm gonna pitch what I think the context of this cutscene is, if it really is a cutscene. I think this is one of the first times you're in, like, the other world, and, like, you're stumbling upon, like, a dungeon for the first time, and, like, the statue is a representation of, like, the statue's boss, quote-unquote. And it was someone maybe connected to the protagonist, but it's someone, like, who is responsible for a lot of suffering. Something like that, either like a cause for a lot of suffering, or a person that like the community altogether like wronged, and because of that have been like negatively impacted because they choose to like wrong that person, or chose to like oust that person, ostracize them, that sort of thing. Like this, to be fair, the symbolism is really cool, but there's like a lot of different directions, and like I just need to know which one it is. I need to know. But that's generally what I'm thinking. Like, it's generally in lines of, like, it's either some kind of, like, sins of the past sort of deal, or, like, sins of the community sort of deal. Because, like, the symbolism of statues really gets to me. Statues and gravestones. But, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard. At the end of the day, I feel like it's kind of like a nothing burger trailer.
It really is, but I'm losing it. I am on the edge of my seat. I'm bouncing up and down like a little ball. I think, I mean, I liked the trailer. I liked the teaser. I'm not gonna go on a trailer.
I mean, yeah.
It's a teaser, let's be real. But, like, I like the teaser. It's pretty cool. I like the logo.
Yeah, it's
I like
cool.
the green. Honestly, I'm gonna be real. I was like 2% hoping, not 2%, like 10% hoping it was a different color, just because people were being so adamant about green. That's just a contrarian in me. I don't know. I wanted brown or pink or something. That could've been cool.
I kind of wanted a black and white.
Imagine like a noir like Persona game. Like it's like the protagonist is dressed up like a detective and shit. It's like but I don't want to. Speaking of noir, the other world, what we're gonna call it, other world, dark world, shadow world, whatever you want to call it. The other world is raining. I don't know if that's gonna be like all of it, but I think like I'm just looking at every single detail, but like I think with the rain, like the rain, there's those like dead trees and like the bright green sky. I feel like. I mean, like, all I can say is, like, it's obviously the other world. But, like, when I'm thinking, like, it does add to that atmosphere, like, it very much being, like, a sorrowful place. Like, comparing
like
it to,
a graveyard.
Yeah, so comparing it to other, like, shadow worlds, the dark hour is very much like a suspension and, like, a separation, right? It's very much, like, not a different, it's a different color of the world, you know, I guess, is like, it's a different palette, I guess is like the best way to describe it in a kind of like semi-artistic sense. I don't have the right word for it, but it's not like a different world. It's our world suspended in a moment. From Persona 4 and Persona 5, which is, this Shadow World is a lot more like, seemingly. There are very much representations of the problem that's happening. Right? Like Persona 4, it's like this world filled with fog, and these dungeons, and the fog is like, you know, obviously representing the fog in Persona 4 obviously represents like uncertainty and like deception and like what's blocking the truth, right? And Persona 5's other worlds are all about like the delusions of grandeur, and Mementos, which is like the main one of the main areas you visit, and like the most consistent area you visit is like it's very like grimy, has like it's like a subway, but it's kind of made out of human body parts at certain points. It's kind of like grimy. It's gross, and like but it's like represents like the body of society and like the apathy of society, especially to like when evil is happening, right? And those are very like that's what they represent. Like one's like the underbelly side of society, like the weak, uncaring part of society, and then in Persona 4 it's like the representation of what the town's going through, with like this clouded fog of not being able to know what's going on, this like mystery, this fear, this paranoia. So with this one, and it's in the rain, right? And like there's this forest with like these dead trees. I definitely get the vibe that this game is about like tragedy, or like I know I keep saying
it's definitely
this.
just representing like something tragic.
Tragic and like constant. Like this isn't like tragic and like constantly affecting. Like I don't want to like take my shit, but if I have to guess what Persona 6 is about, I'm just going to say my guess is that it's going to be about some kind of like looking like facing the past, like tragedies of the past, or like breaking curses. I'm this might just be because I've been rereading a certain part of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure right now, but I get a lot of thoughts about breaking curses and calamities, and I know Persona has a lot of influence from JoJo, but I'm not going to let that like warp my thoughts. I'm not going to talk about much after this, but I just that idea as well of like tragedy or calamity, or like these terrible things that have happened that continue to have impacts, are interesting. Like I think like is this like statue like an entrance to like say a dungeon, or like a focal point of a dungeon potentially? Like if for example if like you have to go under the statue, for example, like, and it's like a crypt, you know?
I wonder if like a main part of what the story is going to be about is a lot like following along what you said, taking accountability.
Yeah, I like if I want to phrase it in like an interesting way, because it does feel like it's going to be very similar to Persona 3 in the sense of having kind of like a dark tone and addressing death a lot. That's kind of inescapable. But like, I think what Persona 3 is about like the oncoming death. Persona 6 is about like the deaths that have happened, or like after death, you know? And like what like,
the effect it has,
and like the psyche of like survival, I guess. But like I definitely I'm hoping, I know I'm probably wrong, and I could be wrong, but like I really do hope it like as you said, it's kind of like about like accountability, or like facing the past, because I really do want to see the Persona devs handle this sort of story, because like that's really cool. The idea of like because like if I want to like pitch like what a standard Persona 6 dungeon would be like with this idea in mind, God, I'm sorry, just seeing the teaser in the side of my eye, a different thing just recently realized into my mind what something is, but I have to get to it in a second. I forget to put it in a second. Anyways, back to the fuck. Oh no, I'm so scatterbrained about this.
It's too much.
Ceabstantine, fix this in post. So when I think like a normal Persona 6 dungeon is going, what I think a normal Persona 6 dungeon is going to be like, is like you go to the other world, you find like you travel to this graveyard, you find like the statue of like of the person that represents some historical event that's like maybe like it's an anniversary of this thing, or like some like memory of it is happening, like not necessarily like always like a dead person, but like a event that has happened and like can't really like linger on it in like a present way, you know? Maybe a dead person, or like a long historic event, but like, you know, it's sort of like a non-present thing. and
Right.
like you like go under this you go under their like tombstone, you like push it open, there's like fucking Zelda Ocarina of Time, push over the fucking grave, go down under there into their crypt, and like it's a full West dungeon, and like it's decorated as like a representation of this thing, this like conflict or this person's sin or whatever,
The ways they were remembered.
the ways they were remembered or the ways they impacted the world around them, or like the ways they were like driven out. There's so many opportunities here, but like generally going down the theme of like accountability for the past and like collective guilt potentially, or like what's I'm losing the word, but like historical accountability, I guess, potentially.
That would definitely be interesting to see them try to tackle
Yeah.
that. That's something that I haven't really seen a lot of media in general do,
Yeah.
especially Japanese
Especially,
media.
I was thinking of whether or not I should mention that. I might as well. I don't know if that's my one doubt with like specifically that kind of thing, because like I don't know if Japan is like
Yeah.
if they don't talk like I don't.
They don't talk about that kind of thing
They
usually.
don't talk about that kind of thing. Maybe they'll talk about it if they don't bring up World War II. But if they don't bring it up, what's the point? Might have to cut that out. I don't know. But like anyways, back to like because you like travel through the crypt. It's like a representation of what they did or what happened to them, or like their impact and how they're remembered. And like the boss is like the like the ghost, I guess. Like it's the shadow is the ghost, like or maybe shadow might be the best word. They might like twist shadow to like the lingering perception or whatever. Like a shadow lingers or like casts over the town, I guess. That could be cool. The theme of Persona 6 could be fucking anything. I don't know. There's rain.
It could be literally anything.
But like I like this, so we're going with this. If I'm wrong, strike me down, Zeus. Anyways, Ceabstantine, add a thunder effect in post.
Yeah, I was gonna say you gotta add like a lightning crash there.
Oh no, ouch. There was so much thunder yesterday. This video's gotta go together because a day ago I barely missed a fucking tornado, wind. Anyways, I only lost 2 hands.
No.
I set up OBS with my tongue. Anyways, I guess I want to talk about the other thing. Just looking at the fucking logo, how the logo was introduced. This is a weird thing to talk about, but I want to talk about it near the end. How it's introduced, it's like a brand, but specifically it kind of has like 3D texture that makes me think of like the wax branding you'd put on say like an envelope.
Yeah.
And like then it kind of like flattens as time passes. Like it starts out very much a 3D textured. I want to say wax like, but like if it was say like a rod brand or something like that, like like an iron rod brand, it wouldn't necessarily be like a flat image. I don't really know. I might be reading way too much into this. I'm definitely reading way too much into this. But like it does.
Honestly, I kind of hate the logo.
It's a little boring. To be fair, every single Persona 6 logo that I have seen is kind of rubbed me the wrong way, like official or unofficial. I don't know. It's like, this is certainly like it's fine, but like the grime and like shit on it, like it's like not clean. Which, like, every other Persona game's, like, vibe has been very, like, actively sleek and, like, very, like, the modern Persona games have been very sleek and very stylish, and obviously this game is going to be very sleek, it's stylish, the presentation is going to be very on point, but, like, aesthetic-wise, like, I want to, like, point on, like, the rapid stuff near the end. I do think, like, we're not going to get much out of coming over the quick, like, you know what part I'm talking about, the teaser,
Right.
the end part. But I feel like that might be like stuff like that might be similar to the basis of the UI potentially, like this kind of like horror, kind of like horrorcore creepy shit.
The like weird photo
Weird
mashing.
photo mashing, like kind of occult imagery. I'm just going to say this: with this theming, it's going to be much more occult than like most of the other modern Persona games. I kind of get a lot of vibes from like the first, the original Persona games, Persona 1, Persona 2, and other Persona 2, of a lot more of an occult vibe, especially like OG Persona 1, of like very, of like this kind of like urban legend-ish kind of like very occult, very like Japanese occult vibe, you know, like contemporary, you know what I'm talking about, like the very like study of ghosts sort of thing.
Yeah.
That's cool. I I'm pulling at straws. I don't know if I want to talk about the leaked stuff because it still hasn't been confirmed. We don't have any confirmation, even though it might be. Have you heard about any of the leaks, Phoenix?
I know that they exist. I've seen like one image of a female character, and that's it.
Yeah, there's like two images that like feel authentic enough. One that kind of like one thing that kind of like makes me be like, okay, it might be real. Is that like the silhouette of like the person reaching out looks a lot like the leaked protagonist character, the blonde guy. I'm just gonna send Phoenix this image. It looks a lot like the blonde guy.
Oh, he's chopped. I mean,
he is chopped. He's super fucking chopped. He looks like the French guy from Persona 3, but like chopped as shit. But he does have the same, like, his head has the same silhouette, like the kind of bullish cut. I think.
That fuck ass Bob.
He has that fuck ass Bob, and I think he has blue eyes. I think. I don't know. There's not many good pictures of him that I can find in like 5 seconds. I don't know what color eyes he has. The editor.
They're green.
Are they green?
Persona 6.
I think they might be like a greenish yellow. I'm looking at pictures now. Yeah, he doesn't have blue eyes. They have like a greenish yellowish eyes. Cool. Part of me kind of thought maybe like, I don't know if I want to talk about might as well talk about this leak. I talk about basically everything I want to talk about with the do you want to say anything else about the teaser before we move on potentially the leaks and stuff?
Not really.
Alright, cool. I guess talking about the protagonist leaks and things like that. We're not talking about this much longer. Just this. There's some thoughts about the protagonist. Not many. This guy could be fucking anything. Reminds me of he kind of is. I think that's fine, but like,
why would they make him blonde?
I don't know. My theories with him being blonde, either one, he's just blonde to like differentiate him from the other protagonists. That's the reason, like to make him stand out more as his individual character in the persona. Like making him blonde is an easy way for him to stand out without giving him like an insane design, you know? Because like most NPCs in this game are gonna have like dark brown or black hair because it's set in Japan. Keyword is most Persona. My other theory, which is a bit more out there, is that maybe the protagonist is like some kind of foreigner, because blonde hair in a Persona game, 8 times out of 10, or it's either punk or foreigner. Call it.
Not punk.
He's not a punk. He's not dressed like a punk. He's got like that fine. He's got his uniform on fine.
He looks like he gets good grades.
He does. Could be foreigner. That could be interesting. Like, and that could like
It would.
lend itself interesting things on the themes we were talking about. Or like one, like the idea of like outside influences on this place, on Japan, or like the impact of the outside world, and like the accountability of like being a foreigner in this place. And additionally, it could also provide that in the sense of like an outsider looking in, and like kind of being like, hey, this is a problem, and like you guys are just kind of like used to it, like that sort of thing. That could be interesting. But like that's all I'm getting from that. Like I don't want to like talk about that too much because like there's only so much to talk about with the leaks and stuff. Right. I don't. Here's the thing. I could keep talking about this, but I wouldn't say anything new. It would just be elaborating on the things I've said, and I don't want to like this video to go on too long. But I am like long story short, for everyone here, I'm excited for Persona 6. quite frankly, I'm so fucking excited. Like
Woo!
this is became a Persona fan a little while after Persona 5 came out, like in 2017 or 18 or so. So I never like experienced a Persona game as it's coming out.
I'm the same.
Yeah, so like this
might be the
exciting
first
for me.
one that I play blind.
Honestly, I kind of want to play this one blind on the channel when it comes out in 2037. I didn't want to talk about that because I do have like some thoughts on when it might come out. Because at the end of the teaser it says wishlist now, which does imply that it's not like extremely far out, hopefully.
I mean, the Xbox page for it does exist.
Yeah, that's not nothing. I don't think we're more than like say 20 months out. That's like my big crazy take for the release date. I think it's probably late 27 or late 28 is like a good guess.
So far.
Yeah. We know Persona 4 Revival is coming out early 2027, and we know Atlas likes to have like 2 games. Like they have occasionally done like one game really early, one game really late in the year. Like for example with Persona 3 Reload and Persona 4 ReFantazio releasing in the same year, and those games shared a lot of team members on the development side. And like Persona 3 Reload was early in the year, in like say February or March, if I remember correctly, and then Persona 4 was like in October. So end of year release 2027 could happen. Early 2028 could also happen. That's not super far away. I can live. I'll live. I won't break down and cry. Anyways, I don't really have anything else to say. Anything you want to say, Phoenix?
Protag is a chopped loser. The diva next to him deserves better.
Truer words have yet to be spoken. But yeah, I'm excited. I hope the themes are interesting.
I hope they are handled well.
Honestly, I really hope this isn't just another modern Persona game, you know? Like, in terms of, like, how it's... Because, like just a little thing, like some of the things I talked about, like, being a bit more, like, being much darker, being a bit more, like, explicit with occult themes, a less, like, sanitized UI, like, the UI being, like, not sleek, you know, and being kind of grimy or like fucked up. That could be a really big, like even just a darker vibe would help a ton in like having a setup stand out, or even like something superficial. I know I'm advocating for a lot of superficial things, but honestly, the Persona series needs like some because like 3, 4, and 5's like marketing and presentation are so goddamn similar, and it's driving me up the
something to drive them away from
the same shit over and over again. True. I just want...
Everything is sleek and cool now, guys.
Yeah. If I have to see one more YouTube video where it's like this song covered in Persona style and it's just acid jazz, I'm going to kill Phoenix.
What?
But yeah, I think that's everything. I hope the protagonist has something interesting about them. Please do something with the protagonist.
I'm excited to see what the soundtrack is gonna be like.
Honestly, yeah, I think like maybe it'd be something like I'm honestly imagining kind of like a bit of like a dark, almost like kind of screechy-ish, like dark, like slow kind of guitar vibe, you know, or like kind of like I'm thinking like I don't want to say anything like too crazy, but like almost like my mind goes to something like early Black Sabbath, you know. Or
yes, like, oh please.
Or just like something like kind of something that gives like a sense of like I want dread. I want dread.
Yeah.
I want this game to have some dread in its vibe. It's screaming that. It's screaming dread. It's screaming things you can't out of your control. It's like screaming like looking into things when you don't want to look at them. I'm spitting so hard and I'm trying to end the video section. But I'm building momentum again. This is bad. but like it's
Quick, end it.
the video. I'm not gonna talk what I still have shit to say, but I don't want to have shit to say, but I do. I'll wrap it up. But fuck. This is why I don't do unscripted content. I'm really excited for Persona 6. I'm really excited for everything it can be. I hope it follows through with what this is. I hope it follows through with like the idea of like dark, grungy, very like occult theming. I hope it follows through with a like very much like a switch up, because like this is a very distinct tone shift from the other games. And I hope it's not too green. I hope they. Honestly,
I hope it's so green.
I'm so green.
I hope it's so green that when you look away from the screen, you can't see the color green.
I hope it's so green. Like I honestly, I hope they slightly change the logo just a little bit, just please, a little bit, just a little bit. I don't like it, a little bit. I don't know, man. I don't
Make
like.
it more green.
Why is there a circle? Anyways, that's it. That was it. So. Wow, was that? How was that?
That was good.
Alright, cool. I'll press the stop recording button.